did you have any sort of personal relationship with Kofi? Was there any sort of overlap, or what?
I probably met him very briefly back when my band was opening for him, but I wish I had gotten to like hang with him. They said they were always like at the beginning, they were like, "Oh, Kofi would have loved you." And in fact, they were actually, I probably shouldn't say that, but I mean, I talked to Skip. He was like, you know, they were asking me when he was still around, I jumped in if it was possible to have 13 people in the band, like if we have Gabe and Kofi, because he was such a great flute player too, and that would have been just amazing, man, to be in a band with him and to like just to get to hang with him and like pick his brain about some of these things that I have learned from him. I mean, I have a lot of respect for him as a musician. Like he is on another plane with his feel and his playing. He was just a genius, man. Like I wish I could have just like sat there and watched him play for a while sometimes, and got to know him. I did have a dream about him after he passed. He came to me in a dream.
Well, there's songs that didn't. Little Martha didn't come to him in a dream, like Jimi Hendrix like came to him in a dream and I think gave him Little Martha or something like that. Like there's been some dreams. Didn't Satisfaction either came to Keith Richards in a dream, or right as he was falling asleep he recorded or something like that. What was the Kofi dream?
Oh man, he he came to it was TTB was playing. I can't believe I'm telling you this, but TTB was playing in this like roadhouse, like with like a lot of wood and like kind of a balcony. It was just like a little club, and they were just playing so great. And somebody came over to Kofi afterwards. He was still playing and stuff, and they were talking to him. They were gathered around, and I said, "Hey, I'm playing. I'm playing now in TTB since you passed." He's like, "Oh yeah, cool. So yeah, you know something about the church?" I was like, "I know. I mean, yeah, I played some gospel study stuff, And he was like, "Yeah, cool. Hey," and he started to say something, and then like a woman passed by him, and he was like, "Oh, hang on, I gotta go, okay?" And he said like, I think I like the scenery in here or something like that, and then he went off to like catering or something.
I have a feeling that was the perfect Kofi dream, and that encapsulated so much in there. And I'm gonna overanalyze that, and as are the fans, and as are some people probably know you and Kofi from you personally. But yeah, that's I like the fact that you called it, or he called it, something about church. I think I know what that means. Like it means like, do you know anything about like TTB? That's how I'm interpreting it. What do you know about this TTB world, this music, this spiritual church because I've talked about how much like the spiritual aspect of being at a TTB show and the what do you call it? What's the release? You get it, the catharsis at the end of a show, the spiritual quality, the even like religious experience that does have it. I can't even explain. I've been trying to explain it for 150 episodes or whatever. But that's what the church is, right?
Yeah. And he does have that kind of, sometimes when he plays organ, he has that kind of like gospel-y flavor, the music does. And I've always had that those kind of changes, those have always brought me like satisfaction. They've always brought me like they always felt like they were a deeper kind of harmony. They resonated with me more, like that kind of I guess him like kind of quality, like comes from the old church, that kind of stuff. I think we're on the same page. Music should always be at its best. I think at its best, music is a transcendent experience. You know, music is it should lift you higher. You know, that's how I feel about it.
I
So
agree.
if
And
we've done that, then we've done something right. You
you
know.
guys do that more consistently than any band. I think that's the end of my sentence.
I'll take
like
it.
out there touring, all of that. Where should we go from here? We could dive into some I Am the Moon talk. I can go into some fan questions and things like that. Well, I mean, what about the songwriting process, and even for the song, for a song like I Am the Moon, what comes first? The lyrics, the music. I know Susan loves the song. I guess speak to that song and maybe some broader I Am the Moon
Yeah.
stuff we can dive
I Am
into.
the Moon came from reading the epic poem by Nazimi called Layla and Majnun. Mike had such a great he put the whole record into a framework, you know, like the writing, I should say, into a framework, and that really helped me because I read through the thing, and there was this one line of, you know, where she's this one part where I feel like she said, you know, am I the moon and thou the radiant sun? Like she's like pining over this guy, you know, Majnun. And I was like I am the moon. Like that's sort of how she feels throughout most of the whole thing. And so, you know, Derek had said something about he wanted something that was sort of George Harrison-y. On the record. So I just started messing around and I started the song on guitar, to be honest. And I came up with that progression, you know, and just like started coming up with melodies, man. And I wrote it between, you know, I started on guitar. I worked on some of it on that piano right there. And then, had this little Yamaha Reface CP that I kind of messed around with. It took me a few days, to be honest, of just editing and rewriting. And I did a little demo of it, just me and piano and guitar. I didn't know if it was going to be like up their alley. You know, I was just at my house. This was during COVID, you know, and I'm at my house and people were sending songs. Mike was sending songs and Falcon, and we were all sending ideas. Derek would send ideas and songs. So I was like, all right, well, I got this, you know, if you don't like it, it's fine, you know, whatever. And Derek wrote back and he was like, well, you know, my wife and my daughter are like sobbing their eyes out listening to this demo. So I think you've got a winner here.